In today's world, if someone is sitting alone in a room, they are not really alone. In fact, there is a powerful force in that room that is keeping track of everything they do, from eating and sleeping to every action they take. Not only is it watching their actions, but it is also influencing them. The interesting thing is that this invisible power is something the person brought with them themselves, and it is none other than their own smartphone. In today's time, it is rare to find someone who is completely away from social media. Almost every smartphone user has Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube on their phone. These apps were originally designed for smartphones, but now smartphones are being made for social media. With each passing day, the power of social media is growing. Many people think social media is a free tool for getting information and entertainment, but once you know the truth, you might be shocked. While we know social media by its name, did you know these apps don't know you by your name? They know you by a unique number called an ID. Just like a prisoner in a jail is identified by a number, social media works like a prison where every user is identified by a unique ID. A person doesn't even know themselves as well as social media knows them. These apps are free to use, but how is your data being used? And how are billions of dollars being made from it? How are robots behind social media manipulating human emotions? And how out of control has this all become? You'll learn all this and more in this video. First, let's understand how social media apps are made so addictive. The backbone of these companies is made up of people known as attention engineers, who are experts at grabbing people's attention. They design apps in a way that makes a person addicted to using them. The goal is to keep people engaged without them wanting to stop using the app. Humans love praise, and social media has taken advantage of this by offering options like likes, hearts, or thumbs up. When we upload a photo, we often check our phone repeatedly to see how people react. If we don't check, we get notifications telling us that someone has liked our photo, which forces us to pick up the phone again. People don't like hearing negative comments about themselves, which is why you won't find options to dislike or hate something on many social media platforms. While using social media, we have no idea that we are being programmed. Our interests are being studied, and we are shown videos, photos, and events that match those interests. The goal is to keep us scrolling endlessly. People compare themselves to others, and social media has introduced photo filters to make us look more stylish, even though in real life, we may not look that way. When our friends only see the filtered, attractive part of our life, they too try to post more attractive pictures to get compliments. This has become so extreme that we now do things for likes that we would never do in real life. This isn't a coincidence. It's a well-designed plan that's being carried out through us. Now you might wonder, if this is happening, what difference does it make? After all, it's a good way to pass time. That's true, social media does help pass time, but you might be surprised to learn that the companies behind these platforms want you to keep coming back, and they're constantly encouraging you to visit their sites. Medical science has something important to say about this. Experts say that when we upload a photo or video, our brain forces us to check the phone repeatedly to see the reactions. When we see the reactions we were hoping for, our brain releases a chemical called dopamine. This gives us happiness and relaxation. Medical science says the amount of dopamine released from checking social media is the same as when using cocaine. The spike in dopamine makes us feel very happy, but as it returns to normal, we want that happiness again, and social media is the trigger for it. Social media robots decide how long our photo will stay on people's feeds, and as long as it's there, we get a constant supply of dopamine. But once the photo is removed, we lose that source of dopamine too. So how can all this be dangerous? When we use social media repeatedly, we train our brain to seek instant gratification, and our patience decreases. Emotional hijacking from social media can distance us from our real lives and harm our mental health. Constant exposure to social media can also harm us. If we're constantly glued to our phones, our brain feels stressed and overwhelmed. This increases anxiety and depression, and sometimes we ignore real-life relationships that are vital for our mental health. Despite all of this, it's impossible to avoid using social media completely, but we need to use it responsibly. Social media should be part of our lives, but it's important to balance it with our real-life goals and relationships. If we manage our emotions and time better, we can protect our mental health and still benefit from social media. By understanding all this, we can control our social media use and protect our mental and emotional well-being while improving our real-life experiences.